So welcome to session 5 of building a photo website from scratch, where we're using SmugMug as the platform. In this session, we're looking to create a competition form. This would be one that would be either switched on and off or would be left live all the time, but it doesn't necessarily have to actually be visible as far as from a navigation bar or whatever, so you can actually turn it on and off as you want. So let's get straight into it anyway. So the first thing I would do, like everything, is to kind of write out all the text. And if I drag over my form, you know I've kind of written everything down as normal, okay? We want an entry form, and within the SmugMug environment, basically we want to be able to easily kind of have a form that is kind of easy to put in there. This is a win form, sorry, a win page on our real demo site. Remember, the site that we're using here is we've built from scratch, okay? But we're going to create this page, but on that form, we're going to have this Wufoo form here as well, where people can input their information. Is Wufoo free? Well, yeah, I just did a quick search. So free plan. The free plan is completely free. You can build up to 5 forms and up to 10 fields each and collect 100 entries per month. Your entries can be viewed and downloaded at any time. So the only thing it would be is that if your social media marketing is really going well, then obviously you're going to kind of pretty much pay for Wufoo straight away because it's going to be generating. You can use other forms to actually fill in, even the likes of MailerLite you can actually put into the likes of a SmugMug page as well if you're already using the likes of a MailChimp. Doesn't quite look as good and so on with it. Okay, without delay, let's get into it. So we're going to go into Organize. This takes us into all the design field. And what we're going to do is click into Pages now. And from within here, we're going to create ourselves a new win page. So we're going to create a win. So go into Create on the top left-hand side, click into Page. We're going to click on the page type and we're going to choose Custom. This means that the page is completely blank except for any site-wide information that we've put into our design. So this is going to be just a simple win. And you know by now I'm going to put the information in there. However, in the metadata, I would put in things like win, competition, boudoir, free, prize, draw, those kind of things that is in meta in the keywords. Because if we allow this page to get visible in searching, then basically if we're lucky, it's going to actually be found in things, okay? So in this case, we're going to, in the security, we're going to keep it public, access to any body. We're going to have website searchable, and SmugMug searchable. We don't necessarily need that. Because that's really within the SmugMug domain. You can basically click and then it can be found if somebody puts in a search engine and they're looking within SmugMug websites. So I'm going to click no for that. I'm going to press create. So at this stage, it brings us into our kind of design. Remember, anything that is in red, yes, you can see here, is there by default. It's just this page we're working on. So if you kind of flash up red, you'll know that it's about the whole page. So this breadcrumb, I'm going to switch off. As I've talked about before, I'm not a massive fan of breadcrumbs within a website. There are some kind of reasons to have it there, but for me, I prefer not to. It's a consumer, and I want to basically just take them to where I want to take them to, as it were. So we want to add in, so on the right hand side here, remember we've got an option in the layout to either keep it in the fixed mode, or I can turn it into stretchy to use the full dynamic of the kind of the window. However, most people are looking at us on a phone or on a tablet the majority of the time rather than a PC, so I'm going to keep it in fixed. Back into content. In this point, we're going to scroll down. And we're going to click onto what? We want text and we want a title first. So even though that the title is the page name, we can go in and win a boudoir experience worth £1,000. Okay, so even though it's basically the title page, the name Win comes up, we can add into there and things. Centralize it. We're going to keep it to the medium size of font. That's fine with it. I'm going to press done. Okay, at this point now I want a little bit of text, so I'm going to go down here. So clicking on that plus, remember if we want to swap this side to the other side, we just click on this arrow at the top and it swaps it over to the other side. I tend to work with it on the right hand side the majority of the time. So text now, we're going to just go in and we're going to drop a box. Remember, we drag it in, we're looking for a drop zone, highlighted in this case in a green line, and it's also highlighted the arrow. So wherever I kind of position it, above, to the left, to the right, in this case I want it to below. Just going to click onto here. And this point we want to enter. I'm just going to copy some text from the other side. Okay, so we've pasted this in now. I've now going to select it into heading. If by mistake I had returned down and I've left that line, I would then need to highlight the line to be able to go back in and actually change it in its font size and so on. In addition to the standard heading size, you can actually go in and actually change to a specific size as well. Okay, you can actually downgrade it or grade it in size and so on with it. I'm going to press done. Remember to highlight it, click on to the size that you want, and that will actually make the difference. Right, next we want another text box. Going to press plus, scroll down, text, grab it in, wait for the drop zone, let go, then copy in my other bit of text here. And because the text doesn't automatically return down, it doesn't acknowledge the paragraphs, we have to do that manually anyway. If you've got a huge amount of things to do, like terms, conditions, I usually actually start from the bottom. It just makes it a little bit easier anyway. But again, once you've got going with your SmugMug or a web design, you'll find out all the little quirks and how it all works and things. So in this case, we're going to just make the font size a little bit bigger. So if you saw, I did a return, but I did a double return, which is basically, this is how it was. One return doesn't put a line of space. A second return puts a line of space. If I go Control A then to select all the actual text, then we go in and go, okay, let's try heading 3. Is that big enough or too much in their face? If it's too much, we go in and we do heading 4, and that'll just take it down just a tad. Pressing done. So I need to excite people coming to this page. So I definitely want to go in and either use a static image or the likes of a slideshow. In this case, let's put in a static image first of all. So we're going to just put it to the side and we're going to click on the photograph. So if you missed what I just did, plus, single photograph, drag it in, drop it, click onto the photo image, go to wherever you've kind of stored your things. So images and portfolio, this is to do with the sheet. So I want a sheet image, pressing done. Okay, just gonna then, what size do I want? I can just put it to perhaps medium size image. Remember, they're mostly going to be looking at actually on a phone. Said to the photograph is fine. On click, we don't want them to do anything. So that's just going to be pressed to none. And then at this stage, we need to put the form in. Okay, so we're going to click on the form. We're going to click on plus. We're going to come down, and then you're going to have services. In services, there's Google Calendar and Google Translate. The difference being to this demo, it's not allowing you to put Wufoo in, which is a real shame. Okay. However, remember, this is just a demo. As soon as you sign up to it, even in the basic level, you're going to be able to go to Wufoo and basically add a form in towards here anyway. Okay, so don't be fearful on that, but you'll be able to kind of make that work for you. I promise you. Okay, so you'll get this kind of form, and what we'll do is we'll just log into this website before we finish, and I'll show you where the form is. Okay, so then we want some terms conditions. Let me just copy my terms conditions. I'd always encourage you to have correct terms conditions on the page, and obviously legally you need a terms conditions and a privacy policy as a standard page, and those navigation could be found at the bottom of your website perhaps. So let's now just put in text again. So grab the text, drag it out to the side, drop it below, then we're going to paste in. So remember, I was saying if you've got lots of things like terms conditions, better to actually number them off screen, and then you can just find what they are, and just before the number return down, or at least that's the way I do it. Perhaps I'm a little bit dull, but it just makes it a little bit simpler for me to do. And just pressing done to that. And I don't want the kind of terms and conditions directly under this, so I'm going to go into plus. I'm going to add a spacer. Okay, so in the design element, we want a spacer. We drag it above the terms conditions, or below the photograph, or below the text. Remember, below the text, below the photograph are exactly the same thing. Why? Because they're basically text is a column, then the photograph is another column. So if I drop it below the text here, it's still, if I drop it below the text here, it's technically the same as dropping it below the actual photograph in the design here. Okay, so that's there. I can click into it and basically just go in and increase the spacer. All right, so it just takes it from below. Remember, at this stage, we would be having a form here, okay, which will take over quite a lot of space and things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in another photograph, in this case, just to simulate a form, okay? So this is going to be above the actual thing. We're going to call this enter here. And in fact, you know what, let's just have a good idea. Why don't we instead click the portrait below to enter. Now, I wouldn't do this as a normal because I want people to stay on this page. However, this is a quick fix me. I only just thought about this now, okay? So let's click into photo now. And did we have in the book now? Oh, flipping heck, we did. So let's hit. That is just luck. All right, we got prepared, didn't we? In the very first session, I said, look, I've spent an hour getting graphics together and everything. All right, yeah, okay, luck. Right, let's do that. So now we can say, click the win button below to enter. Now we'll action on click. Now we're going to go to a URL. All right. Now I'm going to go across and copy my link here. And this is my link. We're going to go to the form. Oh, I'm a lucky devil. All right. So go to the URL. Let's alignment is going to be left. That's fine. Custom go to URL. Title size is fine. Open link in new tab, yes we do at this point. Just in case there's something goes wrong, we want it to open up into the form and leave them on our website, because at this stage they would go elsewhere with it. Photo, center photograph on, fill width, we'll just go to large. Medium, what size is that? That's okay, yeah. And then that's done, so we're going to press done to that. And then just to make us trustworthy as well, I'm going to add in a quick video. I'm going to, so in case you didn't see where I did it, click in the plus, grab in video, drag it to the right hand side of the button, go and choose the video. I do believe we put videos on, didn't we? Videos, yes we did. There's not there where Charlotte is. I was going to use Charlotte's video, so let's just use that one as a filler for now. I'd usually put a client review video in here so people can trust us fully. Okay, so this is what Charlotte said. All right, and we'll just press done. I'm going to make that click. Not the, we'll lose the word the, so we can bring it all onto one line. Click win button below to enter. There you go, done. Okay, so even though we didn't have that form, which is a bit of a shame, in fact, we've got a win page. So our URL at this stage, if you look at the top bar here, it says f4boudoir.smugmug.com /P pages/win. Now, as a rule, I tend to want the win competition somewhere specific, so a smaller URL as I can physically do. We can quickly do this, okay? If we go into organize page, and then we just click into the pages icon here on the top the breadcrumb. So organize home site, then we have pages, click on that, and we should see our win page, which is here. Let's first of all, now that we know we've got a wing pink button, let's give it a color. So settings, click onto the photograph. We're going to click on home. We're going to go into site-wide images, click into site design, click in the win, done. And now you can see it's there, okay? So what I'm now going to do, if I grab this page and I move it and I highlight the site home page, what it's now going to do is move that page out from the pages folder, and now it's actually on the main kind of home page. So if I now double click into win and I go to view this page, if we look in the top URL, now it's the URL, the f4boudoir.smugmug.com. Remember, you can have your own URL with SmugMug. You just need to go through a few little hurdles to actually get that applied. Then we've got that /win. If you look by design, SmugMug needs a capital letter at the beginning after the forward slash to go there. So in this case, if I just copy here, and now I log out, and I click onto the front page here. So far we haven't got a win element at all, if we know. So we couldn't navigate to it. Even if we went to the boudoir experience page we built, yes, there is no reference to it on the top of the gallery navigation here at all with it and things, okay? So we'd need to actually paste in or give the link in the ad to actually go to a place, and that's where this goes to. So with that in mind, let me just log into this design, and then we'll show you the actual Wufoo page and so on with it, okay? So I'm just going to log in. I'm going to pause the screen a minute. Okay, so I've just logged into this demo site. Remember, this is the one thing that I do get from SmugMug, is this one site that I can usually just kind of do some of the business training with and so on. But my own sites are actually run through SmugMug as well and things really. So, right, let's go into Organize, go and find that win page. Yes, remember in here, there's no kind of win at all. So if I go into Organize, and then if we click into that boudoir business, you can see what I mean here. We use this as a kind of demonstration site for different things: family, portraiture, food, photography, commercial, etc. We're going to go into the Win, and we're just going to click onto that. Oh, you can see there's no graphics on that one. So do you remember how we did that? We went into settings, clicking onto the icon photograph, clicking into graphics, choosing Win, pressing done, and you can see already there's no metadata in here. So Win competition, giveaway, prizes, boudoir, etc. Yeah, and then we're just going to go back to save, and double clicking into the Win now. And if we go into edit this page, we'll see that down here is this form. Yes. So if I was to delete the form for a minute, this form, as you can see, consists of a title, a text box, a solo photograph, a slideshow or carousel, terms, conditions, text box, and then a video below and things. Okay, so let's go and do the form. So if we just collapse on just this page there, and then we come down and we go into services, then we click into Wufoo form, drag it to the left hand side. All we've got to do now, I'm just going to type in enter now just here, but we want the Wufoo short link, and all I've got to do is copy that short link a minute. So I always copy and paste. You've seen how bad my spelling is. So I want to make sure that it's kind of done right. So we want to hide the header, and title on the form is medium. We may as well go large. Why not? Get it in their faces with it, and basically hide form header. So if we clicked on off, you can see here now it's got all the information to do with the actual prize. Well, because we've got all this information on the page here, then basically we don't need that information, so we can hide it straight away, and it's set by default to that. And if we press this done, and then of course we're publishing it, and then this design is ready and live, and you just go in and fill your information, or the client would. Remember to check it yourselves. But you can see here, in fact, as far as the information I was just saying that we hid, this is actually on the form. So if you took them straight to this form, I don't think it's trustworthy enough. That's why I always try and take people to a landing page where they can see how cool we are and actually what we produce and everything else with it. So hope you enjoyed this session where we looked at how to add a new page to our building website, and creating a competition page so people can actually actively get involved with us, and you can start to collect data in some way.